You're watching iRacing on the Ghostfire Media Network.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another week of AOLL Cup Racing, this week from Martinsville. I'm Josh Laston, and with me, most of the time, as always, Carl Henderson.
Hey, everyone. I am super excited to be here. I'll tell you something, Josh, and I think you know this about me. I do not enjoy racing on short tracks like Martinsville here, but I sure enjoy watching racing here. I think we're going to have a great race tonight.
No, I definitely think this is going to be one of the most entertaining races we're going to have this year. Martinsville itself, it is a very short track to where it's only a half a mile, but with the number of cars we're going to see tonight, we have 27 that have practiced so far. There's going to be a lot of people out on track. A lot of opportunities for a little bit of carnage, but luckily, this track, aero's not going to be a big deal as long as they can keep the front end of their car from getting destroyed.
I mean, honestly, I've seen cars. I mean, you might see some things like last week, or I should say 2 weeks ago when we were at the Bristol Dirt Track. You might see cars out here running around without a hood on them because, like you said, aero doesn't matter that much. So if your car can drive, I was about to say in a straight line, but last week Joe didn't prove that he could, get a top five not driving in a straight line. So as long as you can keep your car on the track, you'll do okay here.
Yeah, the big thing that we will have an advantage with is these guys do get a fast repair, so if there is too much damage, they do get the opportunity to have everything repaired without any kind of a penalty and get back out on track. But no less, we're going to be running a relatively short distance in comparison to what everybody would be running in the actual cup. We're only going to be doing 120 laps tonight. So hopefully we're going to see some hard, fast racing.
Yeah, and that 120 laps, if we have a lot of green flag racing, is going to go by just like that. But if we have a lot of cautions, it could be a little agonizing with 120 laps. So hopefully we'll have a good, clean race tonight. We'll see some good racing throughout the field. I'm really excited for us to get going here.
I very much am as well. So we are actually on the verge of starting our qualifying. But before we go ahead and start taking up some of that, let's go ahead and bring up the points as we stand. Last week, 2 weeks ago, we saw Blake Gordon take his fourth consecutive win and take the top spot in the cup. But he's only up 8 points on Justin Anderson right now.
Yeah, what Blake's done so far since he's come back has been remarkable. Has just driven through the field and taken first spot here over Justin Anderson.
Yeah, but we can't forget that right behind him we have Joe Dinsmore, who is only 26 points behind him, and Steven Gottschalk is only 34 back. So we do have an opportunity for anyone to really jump to the front if Blake has any issues or anyone at the front. But given the somewhat accident-prone nature of this course, because the turns are tight and the straights are long for this size of short track, so it's anybody's race tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's take a look at Justin Anderson here, who is on track.
So yeah, he's one of the first ones out there, and he's done already.
Yeah, he just finished his. I couldn't get switched over quickly enough.
And he's actually our current pole sitter. Let's go find somebody else.
How about Randy Pepper? Look at Randy Pepper
good
here.
old Randy.
Well, if I can find him in my list.
I got him.
There we go. Perfect.
Randy's out there on track trying to set his first lap of the night, and Randy's unfortunately seen a whole lot of trouble in races recently, and he's looking to bounce back a little bit, hopefully. I'm actually going to make a quick shift over here as Joe Dinsmore. Of course, we catch him late, so let's go ahead. Catch Randy on his trip across the line for his last lap.
Yeah, these qualifying laps go by quickly with just 2 laps here. Randy is currently scored in 16th.
So if we can go
and we
ahead
still have...
There seems to be a little funky going on there, but...
Yeah, not sure what's happening there. I haven't seen that happen yet.
So just so everyone knows, we are actually looking to make the experience more enjoyable for everyone. So we are testing some new software out tonight that should actually make the whole presentation a little bit better.
So I'm switching over here to Brandon Bernhardt because on the podcast on Friday night he said that we never talk about him. So here's Brandon Bernhardt running his first lap of the night.
And he was just a little bit angry with us because he was running in third during one of the restarts at Bristol Dirt, and we skipped over him, and we felt somewhat bad about that as he has a lockup going into 1. And
yeah, and that first lap got him 13th position. We'll see if his second lap's going to be faster for him.
But that lockup may actually cost him just the little bit of speed, but
yeah, we've still got him scored at 13th. And Blake Gordon has also finished, it looks like, and he is currently scored in 2nd. So it is looking, if things hold up, Justin Anderson's going to have a pole here.
It does. Is Dan Shirley, who my pick
I believe
for
Dan's
the win
already.
tonight.
I think Dan's already finished his qualifying laps. He might just be out there running a few extra laps just for some practice.
I don't.
Well, we got how about Kevin here?
Mr. Moeller is moseying around the track, and looks like he's just gonna park it a little bit tonight. So
yeah, I'm not sure why he did that. He
may just have had a bad run, and now he's just parking it back at the line. So let's just go ahead and go back to our scenic, because it looks, I'm willing to bet right now that just about everybody that's gonna put in a lap is probably there. Yes. So we are out of qualifying, so we have our grid set up and ready for us, to where we have Justin Anderson starting on the pole, Blake Gordon in 2nd, Steve Gottschalk in 3rd, Kevin Pearson 4th, Marshall Hall 5th, Joe Dinsmore in 6th, Dan Shirley 7th, William Klingbill in 8th, Adam Wood in 9th, Dan Witt 10th, John Gordon in 11th, Timothy St. Jean in 12th. And unfortunately, I don't know how to scroll this new software yet. So.
There should be a page button under the red grid. Let me see if I can do it.
I got it.
Oh, we went twice because I did it as well.
Oh.
All right. All right. So
there we go.
And actually, if you do the double one, it does 6 rows at a time. Okay. So in 14th we have Mike Burgess. In 13th, we have Brandon Bernhardt. In 14th, Mike Burgess. In 15th, Andrew Burgess. And in 16th, Brian Tiffany. 17th is Stephen Dominy. 18th is Greg Juicerio. I'm just going to say Juice because I'm never going to get it. 19th is Ed Springer. 20th is Rick Kohler. 21st, Randy Pepper. And 22nd, Kevin Haas.
All right, we are actually out on our pacing laps. So we will go ahead and get ourselves ready for the green flag. And I do have to say, I like this new icon for when we're going green. To where...
Yeah, I like that too. That's the first time I've actually seen that. We've got a whole lot of fancy new tools at our disposal right now.
So we're going to go ahead, once we make this second pace lap, we're going to go ahead, get ourselves, let everybody watch, go ahead and turn it up and hear the roar of the V8s, and we'll join you probably a lap back after that point. But right now, I'm hoping we can avoid some of the incidents that we've seen in some of our other leagues, to where we did have a turn one, or first lap incident that collected nearly all of the field. So hopefully these guys can get it there. So we're going to go ahead and just let you watch the beautiful start of this race.
Okay.
So we are back, and we can see that our front row are still side by side, and Justin Anderson is doing everything he can to hold off Blake Gordon, keep him on that outside line, which is definitely not going to be the fastest tonight.
Yeah, we talk about a lot of tracks are multi-groove tracks. Martinsville is not one of them. You really need to be on that inside line in the corners.
As Justin does go ahead and get that line up there, as we actually see Marshall Hall get a little bit loose, just now gets around to collecting it, and he actually held up the rest of the field a little bit, so there is a massive gap between third and fourth right now.
Yeah, you gotta, like I say this a lot, but those guys up there have to love seeing that. They've got a little bit of breathing room, especially Steve Gottschalk in third. Now, he can kind of sit back, lay back, and preserve his tires to a degree without having to worry about pressure from anyone behind him.
But we have Blake Gordon just waiting for any kind of an issue with Justin Anderson, but he is one of those smooth drivers, but he is coming up on lap traffic already.
Yeah, I think we've had a couple of guys already had a few issues. Looks like John Gordon, Jason Swan, a few others maybe had some small issues. Oh, we are under caution.
Out, so let's go ahead, bring up. It looks like that was Kevin Haas. Looks like he just went in a little bit. Oh no, just got a little squirrely coming off of turn 2.
Oh yeah, looks like he just got on the throttle a little too early, and he got on those brakes like you're supposed to. Unfortunately, towed back there.
Oh, that didn't look like that was enough contact, really, in my mind, to justify that.
Yeah, I wonder if that was him trying to stay out of the way of everyone. It's hard to say.
Yeah. Doesn't look like there's too much damage on the front of that car.
Yeah. Thankfully, it's a pretty small track, so I imagine the tow times aren't going to be that extreme. So, yeah, he's still in the pits currently, though.
Yeah, and he's the only person currently in the pits, to where we can head ourselves back out here, run into... Oh, wait a second. Looks like we just had an incident while we were under caution? Or...
I didn't see anything there.
Yeah. New software does good things in certain situations, but not necessarily every other time.
Yeah. All right.
So, we can bring ourselves live, run through the order while we're still pacing to where the only shakeup we really have at the front, to where Justin Anderson is still in first, Blake's in second, Steve Gottschalk's in third. Marshall Hall actually moved up from fifth into fourth at the expense of Kevin Pearson. Then Joe Dinsmore with his cheering crew of Ian still out there watching him and cheering him on. He's still in sixth. Dan Shirley's in seventh. Adam Wood actually moved up from ninth into eighth. William Klingbill dropped back one spot into ninth. And Dan Witt wraps up the top 10.
Yeah, and on the podcast, Dan was my winner's pick. And come on, Dan, get it together. I'm going to need you to get up into the top 5 at least so I don't look so bad.
It's a long race, and he plays the same kind of games that we do as we are about to go back to green. He's just one of those that he'll bide his time and hang out back, save him his tires and everything for later, as we are back green flag racing, where Justin Anderson goes ahead and gets himself back up into that lead as Blake Gordon slots in right behind him. He may be trying a little bit of an over-under, but doesn't seem like that's going to work out for him.
Not when everybody's on pretty fresh tires. I mean, this is one of those tracks where a choose cone like they do in NASCAR now would be.
Stephen Dominy's around in turn 3, boys. We got a spin down in turn 3,
and we are under caution now.
Stephen Dominy went off the nose of a couple cars down there. A few other cars got involved.
Okay. Thanks, Nick, for
I was
in.
trying to help you out, but I've gotten broken information. I got broken stuff down here. So.
All right, we got it. So yeah, we can actually see all of that, and it looks like that collected a few other people to where Brian Tiffany, Ross Gage, and Randy Pepper.
I think Randy might have avoided damage there, so he might be okay. They actually all look pretty okay right now.
Well, the one thing I do want to call out here is Mr. John Gordon has fallen back 11 spots due to that. Right there.
Yeah.
And he is now running in 22nd.
Yeah, I will say this, though. I mean, I imagine that they are going to pit here. A lot of times those things have ended up being blessings in disguise for me. Someone's getting in an accident, getting off pit cycle, suddenly, takes you from a position where you have no chance of winning to potentially winning. And we do have some guys entering pit road right now, I think. Maybe not. I think it might have been some guys that dropped down to the apron like they were going to enter and then pulled back up, or maybe just crossing that line right there. Okay.
Yeah, they just made it seem like they were.
Yeah, the software sure thought they were entering pit lane.
So we do have one shakeup in the top 10 right now. Joe Dinsmore actually made the pass on Marshall Hall to get himself into 5th for this restart. But other than that, we have ended up back where we were. Didn't really get long enough of a green flag run to get too much done.
Yeah, I mean, as long as we're under constant caution, guys really never have an opportunity to get any sort of runs. What you're going to see is a lot of positions change because someone gets stuck on the outside, and when that happens, like, even if you're a faster car, you're sort of sitting duck for a little bit. You can try to fight it off, but really what you're looking to do is try to find an opening so you can get back down to the bottom.
Yeah, it's going to be one of those kinds of races tonight, at least to start. These guys need to just settle in, just run their race for a few laps, get the groove back, get the tires nice and warm, because these short tracks are going to be the softer tires, which will take a little bit longer to get up to operating temperature, and just make sure that they can run a few good laps before we get too many under caution, because 2 cautions in under 20 laps, this could be a bit of a long night.
Yeah, I'm really hoping that guys are going to settle in, start understanding how their cars feel, and then we won't see this as much.
But the lights are out on the pace car, and we'll go ahead and let you hear the engines and just watch the action. Alright, as we are back to green flag, as it looks like Blake Gordon's actually going to try to make a move low on Justin. Will he be able to get the run out of the corner and get his nose under there? He's going to go back to single file and bide his time.
Yeah, I think right here, you really all you can do here, short of giving someone the bumper, is just wait and hope for them to make a mistake. Which, at a track like Martinsville, everyone's going to make a few mistakes. It might be very big, but there's anything you can capitalize on.
Yeah, he's just seeming to give him a little bit of space, but as he gets a little squirrely coming out of the corner there.
Well, there's one of those mistakes I was talking about, but it didn't happen to the person Blake wanted to see have it happen to.
No, as that's actually... We can go ahead and go back here as Joe Dinsmore has actually made a pass. Both Dan Shirley and Joe Dinsmore have made the pass on Kevin Pearson and are going to be setting their sights on that top group.
Yeah, Dan Shirley's been really quiet this season, and I've been waiting for him to have a big race that we know he's capable of having. And here he is in the top 5. We might see something out of Dan Shirley, but Joe Dinsmore there as well. You can't count Joe Dinsmore out at a track like this ever.
No, you can't count him out at any race, and I want to see Dan Shirley win, mostly just because I've been waiting for a good showing all season, but I may have also picked him on the podcast. I want to be right. That's more important than anything, even though I'm happy with just about anybody winning, but I just want to be right for once. It hasn't happened yet this year, because I refuse to choose Blake.
Yeah, I'm taking a look here at William Cleanville right now. Is trying to fight for position over Kevin Pearson. He is about a quarter of a second back, but
he has Marshall Hall right on his rear.
Yeah, I was about to say it because that I just shifted up a little bit. Yeah, so he right there together.
And if he can actually get that move and get William to the outside, that could open the door for Dan Witt as he's right on Marshall. As he gets a little bit loose coming out of the turn, and that's going to put that gap back there just a little bit. But at this point, the intervals up front, it actually looks like Steve Gottschalk is giving these guys a run. And
yeah.
He is not going away, and he doesn't look like he's going to go away easily at all.
No, we're used to seeing Blake Gordon, Justin Anderson.
We actually have a caution. It looks like...
Oh, yep. Timothy St. Jean, it looks like.
He was on the outside, tried to muscle it a little bit, looks like he broke loose trying to stop it, and just made a little bit of a tap on the wall, but there was also John Gordon was also involved in something.
Yeah, I'm trying to take a look at that.
There's John Gordon. Just gets a little bit loose coming out of 4 and taps the wall. So apparently the new pedals aren't as good for Martinsville as they were for Charlotte on Thursday.
And we do have guys entering pit road now. Our leaders have entered pit road.
I just want to look at something. It also looks like Tim had an issue elsewhere. Or, no. But yes, we officially have.
Yeah, let's take a look at the race off of Pit Road here. Well, I tried to...
I was gonna say, let's find those wonderful. I was gonna say, there we go. That's what I was looking for. That right there is the kind of thing we love to see. As we have Blake Gordon and, let's go ahead and get that from a different view. Blake and Justin just muscling it out of Pit Road.
Oh, and we got a flying cone.
Well, I mean,
but I want to point out something. Hold on just a second. Let me see. Oh, actually, never mind. I was going to say Don Warnke was stayed out, but I don't think. No, he pitted later than everyone else. Okay.
Yeah, he just pitted later than everyone else, and it looks like at this point, just about everybody has. He was the last one to actually make his way into the pits. As what did you just change?
Oh,
me?
sorry, it was saying that we weren't live there, so
I was actually thinking that you went for this, but yep, that's yeah, I was rolling through looking at some of the other people that have pit to see if there were any good ones, but I'm trying to figure out what's going on here because it's telling us that there are a few people that have crashed that.
Well, sorry about that. I pressed the wrong button there. No, I don't think there's actually any. I think it's just that there's some speeds that are off right now.
So basically, we need to ignore those anytime.
I think under caution we can ignore those warnings about crashes.
All right, as the pace car has peeled off, and by AOLL rules, they can take off at any time right now, and we're just waiting for Justin Anderson to put the throttle down as he does.
Oh, very good. Beautiful restart for Justin.
But Blake did not concede too much space to where they are still bumper to bumper as Blake gets a great jump off of turn 2 but cannot find his way underneath of Justin Anderson.
Not enough there. But he's still fighting. I mean, he's right there. Justin takes a very high line there as Blake gets under him. Blake is fighting for the lead on the inside.
Blake's
going to take this.
He has the ideal position, and Blake Gordon does get the pass done as Justin Anderson couldn't try to make an over-under, but he's not giving up.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't expect him to give up, but the outside's not going to hold on for long.
Well, that is one of the advantages of this new dynamic track that iRacing has implemented, to where if more people have been running that outside line, it's going to grip up, and he is making that work and not letting Blake get past him as they are just going door to door.
I'll be honest, I wasn't expecting anyone to be able to fight back on the outside that hard, but he's doing it right now. This is really good side-by-side racing.
And we just have Steve Gottschalk and Joe Densmore just waiting in the wings, letting these two duke it out. They will kill their tires right now, but each one of these guys, as Blake finally gets the full distance, but he doesn't move up, so Justin may actually be able to keep him on that lower line.
I can guarantee you from Blake's perspective, because I've been in this position, he's just sitting there. He's like, "Come on, Justin, let up, let me by," because you're in the preferred position, and Justin obviously should fight for his position. There's no fault in that, but man, that did certainly, I imagine, put some wear on their tires. We have someone spinning on the backstretch. It looks like Mike Burgess and John Gordon involved.
So it looks like John Gordon goes a little bit high, just gets a little happy with that throttle, and...
and actually, Mike Burgess may have been separate from that. It looks like he was...
just a little bit in a different position. Same story.
Yep. It's like they're synchronized dancers or something.
I don't think that the Russian judge is going to be very pleased with that synchronization, though. That was just a little bit off time. But Mike Burgess actually gets the advantage and gets out in front of the pace car. But it looks like they're actually letting him, John Gordon as well, get through there. And Adam Wood. Oh, Adam Wood just dove down like he may end up in the pits. But it looks like we may actually be having another wave of... Nope, everybody's just trying to avoid people.
Nope, I don't think anyone's going on pit road this time. Probably too short of a stunt.
But John Gordon did not get started before the pace car got out, so he is unfortunately going to end up going a lap down because of that spin. So,
yeah, that's really unfortunate for him. That just goes to show sometimes, I mean, him and Mike spun in almost the exact same spot, but Mike was able to get turned around quicker, was just a little bit further up the track, and that's the difference between being a lap down and staying on the lead lap.
And that's actually causing John to go ahead and dive into the pits. There's no damage in that right now. But Mike Burgess is actually making his way back out after that, and it doesn't look like he took his fast repair.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It doesn't look like it. That's interesting.
But we have our fourth caution of the night. And
yeah, we had a pretty good run there. It was great seeing the racing up front, especially. I know there was a lot of great racing in the field. I wish we could have dropped back, but Blake and Justin just kept wanting to race each other, so we had to focus on that.
If we could have kept that going, I would have been very much okay with that, because
it's great seeing those two guys battle it out. They are the front runners for the championship, so I love seeing the two of them go at it.
Ultimately takes the lead in the championship, so they may have that in the back of their mind and may ultimately be battling specifically knowing that information.
Yeah, I mean, both of them, I mean, in the end, I mean, they're in fine positions, both of them, for the championship standings. I think the value of a win, just having a win in general, is just as obviously you want. As the pace car comes off here, Blake will get the control of this restart.
He will, and he is a master at controlling them. As he waits, excuse me, and takes off, but he barely gets enough space to get in front of Justin Anderson to where he can...
That was a good start, though. I mean, they did leave Joe Dinsmore and Steve Gottschalk behind them, and Blake has built up a pretty decent gap right now.
As I'm going to go ahead and go back a little bit, is we're starting to see... Ooh, Marshall Hall.
We have...
collecting William Klingbill.
And
he
they're
manages to
still
keep a hold of it. But we didn't have a spinner. We just had a little bit of contact going on back there. And
just a little brush.
Yeah, a rub and tug, if you will.
Oh, we do have a spinner now, though. The 26 of Steve Dominy.
It's
fun.
We also see William Klingbill go ahead and
William Klingbill and Marshall Hall. we had a lot of action.
All right,
same spot as before.
Just a whole lot worse.
Just getting on the gas a little bit in turn 4. But is this William Klingbeill's?
This is Marshall Hall.
Marshall Hall. I think Marshall Hall and William Klingbill were right there.
Were. Yep. They just got tangled up together.
Oh,
it just looks like Marshall got the worst end of it and resets. That's gonna set him back quite a ways. Even though it's a shorter track, it's still quite a long time to tow back.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not sure. We'll have to ask at some point what happened there. I mean, it could just, again, be guys trying to get out of the way. Could be more damage than we expected, but you hate seeing guys having to take a tow.
Yeah, that's always unfortunate. And right now, I'm going to go ahead just because I'm kind of curious. Oh, that's not that bad. That doesn't even look like it's short track racing at this point.
No, he can race with that.
No, he's not dragging anything. Nothing's flopping around. We're good.
Yeah.
Nothing's going to fly off, and we should be fine. But we can go ahead and get ourselves back towards the front. Our 5th caution in 50 laps. So hopefully we don't average out and end up with 12 tonight. But it's looking like it may be that way, but I just look at it as, that's Martinsville. It's close, it's fast, and we've got a lot of cars on a half a mile stretch and everyone trying to go fast.
Yeah, I want to point out something to everyone watching. I mean, this isn't like these guys are bad or anything like that. It is just that this is an extremely difficult track to drive, especially in these Cup cars. They aren't going to have a ton of grip, and they have a ton of torque. So it's easy to spin one when you're accelerating. It's just again, it's not like any of these guys are bad at what they're doing. They're in terms of the AOLL, these guys are the best of the best. It's just a hard track. These are the kind of things you see even in NASCAR Cup Series. I mean, this is what happens.
Yeah, and one thing to note, and of course, Mr. Oliver just decided to chime in and let us know. Apparently, NASCAR had 15 today, or 15 today. So even the
to be fair, a much longer race.
But even when the pros are going that much, we have that. So we've got...
We're lining up here.
Let's just do a quick run through the top 10. Blake Gordon's in first. Justin Anderson is in second. Steve Gottschalk in third. Joe Dinsmore fourth. Andrew Burgess in fifth. Dan Shirley sixth. William Klingbill seventh. Adam Wood eighth. Dan Witt ninth. And 10th. It's flopping around on me. So I'm actually going to do something that I'm going to go into the cockpit of Justin Anderson for this restart.
Yeah, seeing him fight back here against Blake Gordon on his inside. Oh, did he tag the wall there, or was that just
I think
just bumpiness of the track?
That's just the bumpiness of this track. And sometimes it's just fun to see how much these guys are fighting these wheels.
Oh, he's wheeling it. He is wheeling it. Look at him. Love it. I love seeing that. That is so much fun to watch. It's hard. I mean, it's a job. I mean, you're getting a workout at a track like this.
Well, and one thing many people don't notice is we go to the blimp. You'll notice the coloration difference. Martinsville, you're going from tarmac to cement and back onto tarmac, and each of those actually provide a different level of grip. So if you are losing it coming off of that cement, you really will lose it.
We have a caution out.
Kevin Haas looks like he was the first one involved in that one. So let's go ahead and see. Yep, just gets loose right there. Collects John Gordon, who's just having some rough luck tonight.
Oh, John, I hate seeing that.
That's just unfortunate. I don't know if this was an actual wreck or him just... Jason Swan also had a little... Oh, yes. He just gets around, and that was actually in front of the incident. So that little spin is not going to cost him all that much, as everybody else was slowed down.
Yeah, and watching that right there, it's kind of going back to what we were talking about with the change of track surface. You have, that transition going from the concrete to the asphalt there. that can make your car a little act up a little bit. It's not always a smooth transition. Your car is handling one way on the concrete, and then you go over to the asphalt and it's handling completely differently. So rough, time for these guys, and hopefully they'll be able to figure out the exit of the turns there, because that seems to be where it keeps happening.
Yeah, that's it. It's really difficult to honestly describe unless you've tried doing it in one of these kinds of situations, because in your regular road car, it's not going to make much of a difference. I've done it. Mid-Ohio has sections like this, and that's how I've run is Mid-Ohio, and I've done it on a motorcycle, and it's one of those things that you keep it in the back of your mind and you slow down.
I've experimented with it on the on-ramp of I-26, and just as difficult, I think, as Martinsville.
You know what? Knowing how you drive, that's not surprising. I've never seen it in real life, but I have seen it on track, and you can get a little aggressive sometimes.
Well, hey, I mean, I may not be the championship-winning driver you are, but I drive okay on the road and okay-ish on the track. So yeah, looking through the top 5 right now, we've got kind of our stable of drivers that have been there. Blake Borden in first, Justin Anderson in second, Steve Gottschalk in third, Joe Dinsmore in fourth, and Daniel Shirley in fifth. And then going back to 6th through 10th, we've got Andrew Burgess in 6th, Adam Wood in 7th, Dan Witt in 8th. He's moving up. In 9th, we have William Klingbeil, and in 10th, we have Juice.
As that's a new name in the top 10, so this is actually turning out to be quite the
and
race.
Sorry, I'm just gonna add in 11th we have Brandon Bernhardt.
Huh. Making sure we get him in there. Well, so I'm gonna go ahead and let you guys just listen. We'll put it on the most exciting runs, and that's not it, and just let you listen to the V8s. And we're back, because we actually got to witness
the big one.
The big one.
The Martinsville big one.
So as we go into turn 3, Ed Springer turns around Brandon Bernhardt and just collects the field. Oh, that is just... I want to take that to...
Can we take another look from the blimp? Yeah, there we go.
Oh, yeah. Because we're going to go ahead and get this one brought back up and see that. He just gets spun around a little bit, checked up a little bit going into the turn. Ed Springer caught him, and luckily it looks like we only had 3 cars really get tangled up in that.
Yeah, I want to point out those guys on the inside line that got caught up in it. They did a great job there getting on the brakes, and for the most part they were staying away from each other until they ran into a car that absolutely was not moving.
Let's go ahead in with Mr. Pepper here and just see what that looks like. Oh, he looks like he's going to come out of it relatively unscathed, but...
Well, like you said, Martinsville, I mean, you don't need a perfect car here to get around the track.
No, Rick was another one that was just seemingly an innocent bystander, but...
Oh, yeah, it looks like Rick may have thought he was through it there, and
yeah,
that's unfortunate. I've had that happen before, where obviously you got to get on the gas at some point. And it did look like maybe it was going to be to his inside, but
just laughing at Johnny Downey's telling Ed Springer to report to the rear of the pack.
Yeah, that's extremely unusual to see. Obviously, I don't think Ed did it on purpose or anything, but it's rare to see Ed even as a mistake like that. He's usually going to give you a pretty big gap when he's running behind you. So to have him, spin you again accidentally is really surprising.
Yeah, as we're watching the blimp with Ed, he's definitely dropping to the back.
Can we actually take a look at that wreck again from Ed's perspective?
Yeah, let's go ahead and go back here. Let me get it too.
Yeah, like.
Oh, come on. It's not gonna let me do that.
Okay. Well, we tried, and that's ultimately all that matters.
Yeah, unfortunately, when we go back to those replays, it doesn't let me select a person.
Oh, right. Gotcha.
But the lights on the pace car are out, and we're gonna do a little bit of a crowd request here and head to the cockpit from our second row, because
Joe
this
Dinsmore
actually should be a great view of this restart as Blake and Justin just get off to a jump. And Joe,
yeah, but I mean,
letting his teammate get that good run and get himself underneath. And
yeah, I thought Joe was going to get by Steve Gottschalk there, but not quite. One thing I just noticed, we haven't been showing our new photos of our drivers here.
I was actually waiting for a good opportunity for that, and this could not be a better. So this is one of the fun new features that we have, to where we're getting all of our drivers to get all their information up there. Somehow I don't think that Joe is 20, but we do have caution back out on the track.
Perhaps Kevin Moeller, perhaps Ed Springer involved.
Let's go
as
ahead
well.
and get ourselves into Kevin's cockpit here, and he just gets turned around.
Yeah, let's see if we can get a different view of that.
Let's just move along to. Oh, looks like Timothy St. Jean may have made it to where their spotter called out 3 wide. Oh, he just gets a little bit of the tip from Timothy St. Jean, and
yeah, it just looks like he just came in too hot there. Unfortunate, hate seeing that, but yeah, just kind of got into the back of him there. Didn't check up.
But this is,
and our leader Blake Gordon has entered the pits, which will hand the lead over to Justin Anderson. And we've seen this from Blake a few times, where he'll short pit over everyone else, and I've got to wonder now if Justin's just going to try to make it to the end. I actually
we have a few people that have made their way out of the pits at this point, and that's because everything is, flying by right now with everybody passing. And
yeah, at a short track like this, there isn't a whole lot of time to figure out what's going on before it's already happened. Blake is having a very long, and it looks like he just came out of pits. Actually, I'm sorry, it wasn't that long. I was just looking at that was a pit lane time.
That was actually one of the shortest that we had. Most everybody else was in the 50s, and.
But I think what happened there is he may have just waited a little. I guess he pitted a lap later than everyone else, so that's going to push him back a lot. Blake Gordon is now running in 19, so he's at a track like this. He's going to have a hard time getting back up through the field.
Yeah, and there are quite a few people that. And again, we get to see one of the youths of our league. He claims home to be Virginia Beach, and this is what he considers to be his home track. So it's part of the reason why he loves to have a great showing here. He's told us that.
Oh, he always talks about Martinsville. I mean, it's one of his favorite tracks. So, it's I'm going to be curious if he isn't able to move to the field, if it'll still be his favorite track after tonight. But I mean, we'll see. I mean, he's going to be on fresh tires here. See if he can quickly get through the field.
As we are getting ourselves ready for green flag again. But now he's got a new challenger on his outside in Steve Gottschalk. And we'll see.
Yeah, Steve Gottschalk on the front row here for the first time.
Everybody gets a great jump to where they will be door to door going through turns 1 and 2. But the rest of the field is not relenting at all, as Joe Dinsmore is actually jumping around on the inside. And according to timing and scoring, Dan Shirley actually makes the pass but can't make it stick. But we still have quite a few people going too wide, as Adam Wood has made his way up into 6th at this point, and is not stopping that charge.
Yeah, Adam's having a great showing tonight. Randy Pepper, who we saw was in trouble earlier, running in 9th. We've got Juice in 7th. There, Dan Witt falling back to 11th.
I was gonna say, if we look in our top 5, we have Andrew Burgess, who started 15th, has made his way up into 5th.
Yeah, he's actually been up in the top 10, just sort of lurking there for a little while, right outside the top 5. I think Andrew's someone we might have to watch here, as the race has gone on, he's gotten better and better.
And as it seems everybody is starting to cool down a little bit, we have had a few cautions, but the green flag runs are getting longer, and everybody is seeming to get into the groove with the pack running. And right now we're seeing a little bit of a breakaway right now from the top 5, as Andrew Burgess gets a little bit loose coming out of turn 4.
I just want to point out right now, Blake Jordan just turned the fastest lap on the track, but he is still mired back in 14th. It goes to show, like, this track is so difficult to pass at.
But he is just charging through the field, where he makes the pass on Mike Burgess, who has no front
a lot
end,
of that
and many of those guys have no front end.
A lot of these guys are probably aware that, Blake is on fresh tires. He was already a front runner. They're giving him a little bit of space because, the last thing you want to do is get in the way of someone when you're not racing with them. You're not going to be able to stop them and hold them off for multiple laps. So let them go. I mean, it's still racing.
We have one of the gentlemen of the league not realizing Blake was about to throw that one down on him, but he manages to stay out of his door. As Blake
I think
made his way up.
We got someone spun around, and we're under caution. Looks like Jason Swan.
And just another one that just a
Just
little
on that exit of that corner.
too hot off of turn 4, and just can't get himself to hold it down. But front end looks fine enough, but he is going to go a lap down because of that.
Yeah. I honestly don't know if that's a good thing for Blake or a bad thing for Blake. If he gets back into the top 3, we'll have to ask him after the race. But he is up to timing and scoring currently showing 11th, because there are guys pitting. Andrew Burgess is pitted. Mike Burgess is on pit road, I believe. So a few guys here pitting. Probably just trying to take advantage of tires here. But our front runners are still out on the track, and honestly, I can't blame them with there being so few laps to go.
We're at only lap 85 right now. We still have 135, not 135. But correct me if I'm wrong here, but
if Justin, Gottschalk, Joe Dinsmore have not pitted yet, they're not going to pit again, right?
I think that they're probably hedging their bets right now, thinking there's probably going to be one more caution. And if they dive into the pits, most of the field probably will follow.
Well, yeah.
With the one major exception, Mr. Blake Gordon.
Right, but then he would be a bit of a sitting duck because he would be on older tires than they would be. So interesting to see how this is going to play out. But at this point, I mean, again, I actually don't know the fuel run here. I think we actually do have a fuel run widget we can pull up as part of this new timing scoring software. Yeah, it doesn't actually seem to be doing anything for me. Hold on.
Yeah, I don't think we set that one up correctly yet.
Yep. So I think if you're able to stay out, you got to stay out. If you're able to make it to the end of the race.
But so actually, we can do this though.
Yeah, perfect time to look at this. Look at our stint links here. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of not terribly exciting with the front runners up there all being on the same strategy here. Are you able to Are you able to go through pages on that? Can't remember. Doesn't look like you can. I don't think. Okay. But we can show more, and but I just popped into Blake Gordon there for a second. It was on a different strategy, but yeah.
All right,
I
as
think,
we are going green right now, with Justin Anderson actually getting out to a good one-car length lead over Steve Gottschalk, but he does run wide. That may
I'm actually
wide open.
I'm actually wondering if that's something he is doing on purpose. I've seen him do it a few times, and I'm just wondering if there's something he's found some sort of way he can get a run off the corners doing that.
My guess would be that, especially since you're not under full power yet, you can keep the throttle down a little bit more, going a little farther out into the corner, because yeah, he's got a good 3-car length lead right now.
And I should point out that Blake Gordon is now in 8th, so he is coming in a hurry.
And he is in 7th right now.
Yeah, I by the time I start speaking, and we have caution on the track, I believe.
Andrew Burgess. Ed Springer collects him, but it looks like Ed just got to keep going straight.
Yeah, it looks like that was unfortunate for Andrew there. I'm not sure if that was just
another angle.
That honestly, there are a few things that could have happened there. That could have been a little bit of netcode where Andrew might have made a little bit of contact. It could also be, we're talking about the new aero model and everything. There's a possibility that's a situation where he's got an aero loose there. Aero's not going to matter nearly as much at a track like this as with somewhere like, say, Talladega. But you can absolutely get someone aero loose on a short track like this if you hit him in the right spot.
And it looks like he is going to dive back into the pits after that one, but I think that one was most likely netcode, because
I agree.
I don't think that was.
I mean, there is also a chance. There's a chance that he just spun on his own. I mean, we have seen people spin there multiple times. That's especially when you're getting raced with someone on the inside, you're wanting to get back on the gas in a hurry. Really unfortunate there for Andrew.
Unfortunately,
get through it.
This is playing well into Blake's hand that he's not having to burn up his tires, and at the same time, it's keeping these front runners' tires fresh.
Yeah, he's also going to be restarting on the inside this time. Last time he had to restart on the outside. Being on the inside should, you would think, net him a couple positions just by the nature of being on the inside.
Yeah, and this is just, we are at caution 10. Unfortunately, the averages are seeming to be going up right now.
Yeah, I keep just hoping that maybe they'll just calm down a little bit. I know everyone wants to race really hard right now, but let's get some green flag racing going and see what Blake can do. See what Justin can do. I want to see these pit strategies play out and see which strategy was the right one. And we're not going to get that if we keep having cautions.
No, I think that honestly, right now, we are just ultimately going to see... I don't think fuel's going to be a factor with the amount of cautions that we've had. Otherwise, I do believe that these guys would have already made their way in because the number
There's
of
no point
cautions,
staying out this long.
The number of cautions we've had means that they would have very little time to make their way farther forward. And yeah, at this point, they've made their bed and they're going to stick with it.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, even if fuel had been a concern with all the cautions, I mean, they've probably been conserved quite a bit.
But the lights are back out, so we will be going racing momentarily. And here's hoping that we can get the last 25 laps done without another incident.
I believe they're going to do it. I believe we're going to go caution-free for the remainder of the race.
And we are off as everybody seems to get a great start as Steve Gottschalk manages to stay alongside Justin until we hit the turn, and he stays low, gets the shot off of turn 2, gets a good 3-car length gap over Steve Gottschalk, and we see a little bit of touching with Blake right there, who has officially made it up into 5th place.
He's coming. Blake Gordon's we've got a caution. Big pile up.
All right, let's see. That looks like it started right here with Mr. Gage. Goes wide. Just cuts down a little bit. Collects Don Warnke. John Gordon, Ed Springer. Oh, good Lord. Jason Swan, Kevin Haas, Andrew Burgess.
Yeah, a lot of guys in that one.
So we get to see the internals of Ross's car right now. And... John, what are you doing to us? At least if you're going to do this, make it spectacular.
If John's going to wreck, I want to see him landing in the infield.
I don't want to see him wreck. I want to see John actually make it through, but...
I don't either, but I'm just saying, if he's going to wreck, I want to see something bigger. The Russian judges are disappointed.
And they're just disappointed that they haven't had anything to judge from him for a while.
Right.
To where I do think the Flipper nickname does need to go away. I think we can find a few more deserving people in the league that should be taking that over for the time being, but...
Well, I want to go ahead and talk about Blake Gordon here. We've been talking about him a lot because he is on a different pit strategy than the leaders right now. He is in 5th, which once again means he'll be restarting on the inside. Blake, this is what we mean about Blake cautions. And this is exactly playing into your hand. It's working out great. Obviously not anything that you've done yourself to cause these cautions. But this is working out great for Blake. I mean, he's running in 5th, and we'll have the inside. You would expect to at least be able to gain a position over Daniel Shirley if he's able to get a good restart. And then he's right there with the leaders. So
but the one thing that this doesn't play into his hand is he probably was hoping to have a little more fuel burned off, and the guys in front of him, they're probably running a little bit lighter, so his tire advantage may not be as extreme as it would be otherwise. But we also have to note, Mr. Adam Wood has moved up into 6th and is starting on his outside as well. And I want to believe it. I love it. There's that wonderful purple guitar addict of Randy Pepper starting in 8th.
Randy has stepped up his game since he joined First Response Racing. He has been much improved. Really great to see him running so much better.
And honestly, he's amongst a good group of guys. Unfortunately, us closed circuit guys may have stolen one of them. Well, we didn't steal him. Larry just wanted to join us.
Well, we have 19 laps to go now. Josh, what are you expecting to see here? Please don't say more cautions.
I don't want more cautions, but I do expect one more.
One more caution. Okay.
I
can live
do,
with one
just
more
because I think it's going to be at the very tail end. As we are
Let's watch.
going green flag.
I'm watching Blake here to see what kind of start he can get. Already to the inside of fourth place.
And right on
Shirley.
Joe's bumper, which means he is probably going to end up taking over fourth position. But
we've got 3 wide further back in the field. Dan Witt just lost 2
as
positions
Blake
there.
locks it up, as Dan Shirley is not going to give that position up easily. But
Randy Pepper just went
Oh.
way up on the track.
As Joe locks it up going into turn 1, which holds up Blake to make it to where that fight for the fourth position, as Dan backs off, gives him the space, as now
Blake.
we're going to start seeing a little bit of chippiness for third as Blake throws one under.
Oh!
That one's not going to play well.
Nope.
But
Yeah.
as we see Joe drop back into 7th after that little bit of a undercut, but Joe did keep it together, and we are still green.
Yeah, Joe. That's championship driver right there. You see a guy who gets moved like that and is able to hold himself together and maintain his not maintain his position, but at least maintain stay on the track. Oh, we got someone.
Mike Burgess, and looks like I can't even get back there. Good Lord. Let's go ahead as there. This is the last caution, I promise. As Mike Burgess going into... Oh, there's just a little bit of action, and John Gordon tags a little bit of his rear end and sends him around, as there was just a little bit of excitement.
Well, you know what happened there? John heard us talking about him, and he was trying to use the 82 as a ramp there to launch into the infield.
Let's take a look at that from another angle, because this will actually give us a better view of what happened. Yeah, we just see... Oh! I don't know why that didn't show.
Yep. So I wonder if Mike was possibly checking up a little bit there to try to avoid that action up in front of him.
That was Brandon Bernhardt who actually got spun. Let's see if we can rewind this a little bit and see.
Oh, it looks...
Klingbeil sends him around a little bit there, and he just gets down into the 7-2 of Kevin Moeller.
Brandon, we already talked about you, Brandon. You didn't have to get spun in order for us to talk about you. You were good.
But this is all the wrong
unfortunate.
reasons. We want to be talking about you. We want to have that reason to not skip over you in third this week.
Well, yeah, I want.
As getting going. Well, Brandon, I'm going to go ahead and move away from you right now.
Yeah, I was going to say, I
else.
actually feel bad showing that because I've been there. I've been frustrated before and then it wasn't that long ago at the beginning of the, Legends series last season that I got into some accidents and then ended up downshifting too many times and blowing my engine under caution. So I understand. I get it. You get frustrated. You kind of lose, your level-headedness. You make a mistake. It happens. And John Gordon was given an EOL penalty for that, so he will be going to the tail end of the field for that.
It's unfortunate because even in just about every league right now, John just keeps ending up being the person with the worst luck. He is easily one of the best drivers that we have out here. He just tends to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. And now that he has his pedals fixed, I've been hoping that getting to see him at the front in Charlotte in the TNT series, was hoping to see that this was going to be the time that we were going to see John rebound. And apparently the luck does not want to change tonight in the Cup.
Yeah. I'm looking now, though, looking at Blake Gordon running in third. This is like every restart we talked about. Once again, on the inside, just a little bit further upfield. He's going to be putting some pressure on Justin Anderson here. And the question is whether or not Steve Gottschalk's going to be able to get in to get down to the bottom, or if Blake's going to be able to shut that down and get up a second here.
But
I think we're in for an exciting last 9 laps. The pace car pulls off.
Yeah, as he's surrounded by SHR Racing, going back to the green flag as Justin Anderson goes ahead and gets that jump out.
Awful restart for Blake there. Just did not get any sort of jump. But he is fighting back.
He's down below Mr. Gottschalk. Gets a
Wow.
great run out of turn 2 to take over second place as Dan Shirley dives down below Mr. Gottschalk as well. But he's going to be able to get the run off of the turn and hold on to that third position. But right now, these last 7 laps, we're going to get to see.
Oh, we've got a wreck. We're in the caution.
Oh, guys.
It looks like Brandon Bernhardt as Sprenger.
Brandon, I don't think this one's his fault necessarily. Oh, yep.
Yeah, just got a little bit loose there and then clipped Ed.
Oh, that's unfortunate. And as usual, there's Mr. Gordon just stopped. We don't have...
his car might be... Oh, no, he's going. Okay.
No, just had Ed in front of him. Neither of them are running with the bumper, but at least their engines won't overheat at this point. But we are 5 to go, which means this is going to be treated almost like a green-white checker, because by the time we're done pacing, there should only be 2 to go, and Justin Anderson...
That's not what I wanted to see. This is going to put Blake side by side with Justin now. I wanted to see a battle for the lead, and we're still going to have a battle for the lead. Don't get me wrong, it's going to be great. But man, I really wish we could have stayed green flag there. But hey, we're going to have a shootout at the end here. Blake's going to be on the outside, so Steve Gottschalk will be on the inside now. We'll have an opportunity to possibly try to fight back for second. But also don't count out Daniel Shirley and Adam Wood hanging out in 5th there. We see you, Adam, and he's got a shot here, especially if these leaders get a little too aggressive with each other and end up getting in some sort of wreck.
Well, Adam just wants redemption for the IVRL on Tuesday, and honestly, this is probably going to be a very rough last few laps.
Yeah, I think we might see some more cautions.
I think we may have a green-white checker in our future.
When I said earlier that I didn't think there'd be any more cautions, secretly I was thinking there's going to be more cautions. I think we're going to see some more cautions.
You know what? I was being hopeful. I'm just glad I'm not in the same seat as Nick and Randy on Tuesday, to where it was 230 laps of this.
Yeah, you start. I'm gonna have to get some pointers from Randy doing so many of the TNT races now. I'm running out of things to talk about under caution.
Yeah, we've pretty much.
We can talk about hot dogs.
Everything.
They've got hot dogs here at Martinsville, so we always talk about hot dogs.
Can we not talk about food because I skipped dinner today? I do need some, but the lights are off with 2 to go, which means we're going green-white checker. Which means we will have 2 laps of racing. If we can get through the first one without a caution,
right?
We are.
So let's explain how the green-white checkered. Yeah, let's explain how the green-white checker works. If someone spins out here on this, or if the caution comes out on this next lap, they will do one more attempt at a green-white checkered. However, if the white flag comes out, which means 1 lap to go, the race is over no matter what.
And according to Johnny Downey, Martinsville has great hot dogs.
I've heard that.
As we are going green, Justin Anderson gets a great jump and has just enough in front of him to where he should be able to keep Blake at bay for at least the first few turns. But we have Steve Gottschalk.
Oh, we got people spinning.
And, oh, is that Mr. Pepper? It looks like it's just going to be labeled as a self-spin, and it was Randy Pepper.
No caution yet, but I feel like these guys
are white flag, so this will be the end of the race.
Oh, we've got we've got more caution, or more people spinning.
That is
goodness,
going to be... That may bring it open. But no, Justin Anderson is going to hold off Blake Gordon for the win.
Justin Anderson wins at Martinsville.
Oh, that was almost disastrous.
I am shocked that a caution didn't come out there.
I gotta go back, see what happened here. We went green flag. There's Mr. Pepper. Oh, gets collected with Don Warnke, and it just looks like, oh, he collected a few people. Oh, that, I don't know how that didn't bring out a caution. Because, yeah, that's... Oh, we had a reset, and then he just locks him up and brings in... Oh, that is...
This once again goes to show how good these guys are. That they got through that with no issue. They had dropped single file, but I mean that's how you do it. I mean, we've had some talk about last week, like we had to talk on the podcast and TNT about having to get around slower cars and that sort of thing. But sometimes you just have to drop in line because sometimes those things happen. So man, great job. And we did have a little bit of extracurricular there with Mr. Gordon after the race, but we'll leave that alone. Maybe discuss it on the podcast or ask Blake in post-race about it.
All right, so let's go ahead, before we bring in Justin to chat tonight, go through our results. In first, we have Justin Anderson, Blake Gordon coming in second, Steve Gottschalk in third, Daniel Shirley in fourth, Adam Wood in fifth, Joe Dinsmore sixth, Timothy St. Jean in seventh, Dan Witt in eighth, Kevin Pearson ninth, Kevin Muller in 10th. I can run through the rest, but...
I'll go ahead and run through the rest for you.
All right, I'll go ahead.
In 11th, we've got Brian Tiffany. 12th is Ross Gage. 13th, Rick Kohler. 14th, William Klingbeil. 15th, Brandon Bernhardt. Just lost the screen share there.
I did, intentionally.
John Gordon. 17th, Andrew Burgess. 18th, Juice. 19th, Don Warnke. 20th, Ed Springer. 21st, Mike Burgess. 22nd, Randy Pepper. 23rd, Kevin Haas. 24th, Jason Swan. 25th, Steve Dominy. 26th, Marshall Hall. And 27th, Justin Edwards, who actually I don't think ran a lap there. So, yeah. How about we bring in our winner?
All right, let's do that and see if I can actually get him to where he's on the same page. All right. Hey, Justin, this is Josh and Carl in the booth. You got a copy?
I do indeed. How y'all doing?
Oh, how are you doing is the better question.
Well, when you win unexpected races you don't expect to win, it's always a pleasure. That was Blake's to lose, and I won it because of strategy. So, when you're not the fastest car, but you manage to pull out a victory anyway, that's kind of fun.
No, honestly, we had a lot of time to talk in the booth, and that's mostly what we talked about.
Hopefully it was a little bit calmer. The in-race chat was a little bit calmer than previous races at this track have been.
So I've got to ask, obviously you're talking about pit strategy there. You stayed out when Blake came in for tires, which dropped him back to like 15th or something. But he was able to fight back and get through the field. At that point, when he was running in third and stuff like that, I mean, did you sort of feel like you were sort of a sitting duck, or did you think that maybe he had blown through his tires trying to get through the field?
So I was going to do whatever Blake didn't do. So when Blake pitted, I stayed out. If Blake had stayed out, I would have pitted under that caution. I don't know if I would have drawn any more people than he did, but I did feel like a sitting duck just knowing. First off, Blake is, in my opinion, the best on restarts in this league, or basically any league I've ever seen. And the fact that his tires were fresher than mine, especially when he restarted second, but even when he restarted third, I didn't expect the win at that point. I didn't expect to win the race going into it, and then when Blake was starting third, and then the next caution when he restarted second, I certainly didn't expect to be able to stay out in front of him. So all credit to him. The few green flag laps that we did manage to run side by side were actually a lot of fun. Blake and I generally race each other pretty cleanly, and so I do thank him. I mean, because he had every opportunity to just bump me up the track, and he didn't. So that's a credit to him, and it was a lot of fun. It was stressful but fun.
Yeah, you guys did a lot of door-to-door racing after one of the restarts, and it was a great time to watch. What was going through your mind during that?
So again, because Blake's so great on restarts, that particular restart, he waited until the actual green flew, so I went into turn one side by side. And quite frankly, the whole time we were side by side, I was like, don't mess up, because Blake and I have had these great battles for the lead, and most of the time he's prevailed, but this whole season, neither of us have made a mistake and wrecked the other one. And so the whole time I was outside of him, all I kept thinking was, don't spin it off the turn and take him out. I kid you not, that was what I was thinking the whole time.
Well, I just want to let you know that I said right at the beginning of that restart when you got a great jump, I said you can't hold the outside at Martinsville, and then like every turn after that, I kept saying, well, you can't keep holding it, can he? And you kept doing it, so you made me look dumb. First of all, but what do you think? I mean, like again, you don't see guys very often that can hold that outside there. Was there anything you were doing there to try to get a run that kept you able to stay next to him for that long?
So the thing about the inside off of turn 2 and 4 is that the inside, it's hard to get the rear tires to get traction, but some of that also is Blake. So I'm sure he was probably running at 97 or 98% so that he didn't slide up into the track and hit me, because that's the thing about being pinched down on the inside of the track is that you have more available to you. It's how much you choose to take or how much you choose to use. And we were early enough in the race that I think Blake cut me a break. But what I was doing is, so going into the turn, I was letting it I was arcing it in further because I had the outside lane. And then right at the center, I would just barely tap the brakes, and that would kind of aim the car off of the turn. And then I could get a better grip on the outside than he was able to get on the inside for that brief time until he obviously pulled away.
Yeah.
So one other thing. Sorry, go ahead, Josh.
No, go ahead. You have a question.
One other thing I wanted to ask you, Justin, is I saw that several times on restarts when you had the lead, you were kind of entering the first corner or kind of kicking it up a little bit higher, not really hugging the inside there. Was that something you were doing on purpose, or were you just getting a little tight there on the restart?
So when if I was clear on the outside, so the one time I thought I was clear and Steve was still on the outside of me, so I felt a little bit badly about that. But no, it was to get the run down the backstretch because I wanted a gap, because the pedals that I have, it's harder for me to get into the turns as deeply as some of the other drivers can. So I wanted to get the run off so that I could have a little bit of breathing room going into turn 3. That was the goal.
So next week we're going to Richmond. Another short track here, but a lot more banking. It's going to drive a whole lot differently than Martinsville. How do you feel about racing at Richmond?
I like Richmond. I enjoyed the truck race there. I had a little bit of trouble when I ended up finishing 4th, but it was a fun race. I haven't practiced the car at Richmond yet, so I don't know what the setup feels like or how it's going to be. But Richmond, as a general rule, I really like Richmond. I like D-shaped ovals. I mean, even Michigan, California, I like that shape of racetrack. It fits my driving style. So I'm looking forward to it. I still think the same Daniel, Steve, Blake, Joe, Adam, I still think that the same people who were the top in this race are going to be the top in that race also. So I think it's going to be a fun battle.
No,
we're looking forward to seeing it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it because this one actually has its own characteristics, and the banking will make it to where this outside groove will definitely have a better opportunity, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it should be a great time. can't wait to watch the broadcast, guys. You always do a great job, so I really can't wait to watch Ghostfire Media's broadcast of the Martinsville AOLL race tonight.
Thank you much. Congratulations on another great win. It should, in my opinion, I do believe it'll put you back in the lead. But I'm sitting here frantically refreshing, hoping to give you that good news, but apparently that's just not going to happen.
Yeah. Go ahead, Justin.
A long way left to go. I don't even know if there are bonus points for being the season champion going into the chase, but it is, every time I think about battling for the points lead, Blake had 2 provisionals, so take it with a grain of salt. Let's be honest.
Well, and you had 1, so it's not as much of an advantage as others would think. So,
but thanks a lot, you guys. I really do appreciate the broadcast, and I appreciate everything you do for Ghostfire Media and for the league. The broadcasts do bring an audience in, and I really do appreciate it.
Well, we thank you for putting on such a show.
You're welcome. Hopefully you'll be interviewing me next week, too.
Yeah, well, we love having you in here. But congratulations again, and we'll let you get back to celebrating with your team.
Thanks, appreciate it.
All right, let's go ahead and bring our second place finisher in here. Hey, Blake, this is Josh and Carl in the booth. You got a copy?
Absolutely, guys. How's it going tonight?
Oh, not bad. So, first thing we got to ask. What was going through your head when you pitted and no one else did?
I mean, like you heard from Justin, I was in our team chat saying the same thing. We had Blake Ziti hanging out with us from TNT and Sportsman Now, and I was telling him, I'm like, you know what? How these races normally go, if I stay out, they're all going to pit. If I pit, they're all going to stay out. And I thought at lap 70, since we pit early at 30, I felt like more people would pit. But, I mean, I don't know why I don't learn, man. We've been in enough of these races that just continuously have yellow flags. And, I've done it before where I've stayed out and was able to beat Justin. He's done it to me where he stays out and he's able to beat me. I just got to learn eventually that, when these races start becoming wreck fest and self-spin fest like tonight, it's probably better just to stay out and take the track position. I mean, I pitted, I think from the lead, I was going to be second or first most of the night with Justin. We were so evenly matched tonight that really I just made it much harder for myself pitting. So, in hindsight, I wouldn't have done it. But then again, they would have pit and I would have been a sitting duck. So that's just how it went tonight, and that's okay.
Yeah, so I have to ask the next question, just because we saw what happened on the track. What happened with Joe there? We saw there was a little bit of contact there. Kind of walk us through what happened there.
On the restart, I'm actually going back looking at all that right now. Obviously, the top 4, I think, are all teammates. They're all good dudes. I've raced with them all before. But let's see. I feel like Joe is probably breaking way earlier than he should have been. In my opinion, I feel like, he could take it deeper into the corner, especially on the backstretch, turn 3 after the restart. Dan Shirley on the outside pulled up next to him, and I was locked up trying to stay off of him. So that bump wasn't on purpose at all. Then going into turn 1, the next lap, he brakes once, says he got into the corner too hot, and then just stands on the brake pedal right in front of me in the turn 1. So I'm not, again, quite sure how that happens. Joe's a good driver. Looking at it, there's no reason for him to just stand on the pedal there. But it is what it is. And then, let's see, 3 and 4 the next lap, I try to turn down off of 4. And then he pulls down, throws the block. That's fine. I guess, I don't know. I don't know what I would have done in that situation. But at that point, you throw a block like that, I don't know how wide you're planning on making yourself the rest of the way. So, yep, you're absolutely right. I will check it in the corner and get by you because I'm not playing that game.
All right.
Didn't really, again, at that point in the race, you were on fresher tires than everyone else.
Yeah, I'm going to try to get through the field cleanly. There was one little thing with Juice and Adam. Adam just went way wide through one of the corners, so I went through the middle, and I didn't know where Adam was going to come off the corner, so I turned off a little bit shallower than I normally would, and Juice and I had contact. But that was about it. getting back up through the field after the pit stop, I mean, it was fine. I wish these races would have more green flags, man. It's just disappointing. We come to Martinsville. It's such a fun track to race at, and the long runs here can be so fun, but for whatever reason, we just have issues with, self spins and just, other types of, typical Martinsville type accidents, especially after Tuesday night. I was hoping we get some long runs tonight, but, it is what it is. I guess we'll move on to next week and hopefully have a better race there.
So I have to ask this question. On that last lap, what was going through your mind as you were coming out of turn 2 and there were cars that self-spun?
I mean, at that point, Justin did everything right. I'm not going to try to take advantage of him with cars sitting there sideways. I mean, it was disappointing not feeling like I could, go for it. I mean, I heard people say there was a car, there was a big wreck or whatever. We come out turn 2 and I see Randy sitting sideways on the track, and I took it easy through there because I didn't want to run into the back of him. So at that point, I was like, you know what? I mean, Justin's got this in the bag. I mean, you heard him talk. I mean, we race each other so hard, so clean every week. I feel like to move him out of the way after nailing the strategy tonight, that would have been kind of low. So I don't know if he would have done it to me, but I was going to show him a lot more. I was going to show him the same respect he's been showing me every week. I love racing with that guy. It's so much fun every week.
I was going to say, you two gave us some of the most entertaining moments of the night. And again, getting to watch you guys go to door at Martinsville for a few laps, that's unheard of in this league and something that's difficult to do everywhere else. So
yeah, I mean, we proved tonight you can go door to door at Martinsville. I'm not sure what IVRL's problem is, but Justin said he was going to be said he was going to have a bit of a struggle on 10-year-old pedals. I'm going to hate to see what he does when he gets an upgrade.
I was going to say, and he was talking very much about how much better he is at Richmond. So next week should be entertaining for us in the booth and hopefully entertaining for you guys on the track.
Yeah, I mean, Richmond, that's another one of my favorite ones. That it's going to be a good race for sure. Again, I hope we get the green flags. The first time we went to Richmond last year, I think I led most of the race. And then I think it was Jason Swan. He beat me on fuel mileage. I messed up the pit strategy. He saved gas, stayed out, and stole that one. So there's interesting things that happen when we get long green flag runs. So I'm hoping we get it next week.
No, next week should be a great time. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys on another short track, a bit faster of a short track.
Yeah, and then I kind of inadvertently put TNT at Richmond the same week as the Cup Series, so we get double dose this week.
Perfect.
I'm not.
I love Richmond.
To it.
I love it too, man. I wish we could replace half the mile and a half with Richmond, Dover, Martinsville, Bristol.
Bristol, I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, it's gonna be good.
Yeah.
The new graphics tonight look great. Just I think Adam set that up, but that looks fantastic just from the little bit I saw after the race. So it's gonna be fun to go rewatch it, see the whole deal. But great job tonight in the booth as always.
Thank you very much, Blake, and great job with you tonight, finishing second. Really enjoyed watching it.
Yeah, man.
All right, thank you very much, sir, and congratulations on second.
Thanks, fellas. Y'all have a good night. You want me to put me back in my my team channel, or you guys got it?
I think we are capable of doing that now, finally.
Ha, nice.
All right. We're at 9:30. Do we want to bring in Mr. Gottschalk? He's still around. We don't get to talk to him enough. Let's bring him in.
Yeah, let's bring him in.
Hey, Steve, this is Josh and Carl in the booth. You got a copy?
I do. Hi, Josh and Carl.
Oh, great to get to chat with you again.
Likewise.
Oh, so you were running through at the front all night. How does it feel to just be up there and just fighting?
Say it felt good. I didn't have a lot of confidence going into this race because the way the cars behave here, they're they're so loose coming off the turn. If you step on the gas a little bit too hard with the steering wheel turned a little bit too far, you break the tire loose, and once you've done that, it's almost impossible to stop it from coming around. So you're driving on eggshells the whole time. And I'm just glad that I was able to keep up with Justin and Blake.
Yeah, so want to ask you about, I think it was the second to last restart when you were running second, Justin was in first, and Blake was in third. It looked like you and Justin got a great restart together, and we're pulling away from Blake, but Blake was able to kind of squeeze in there underneath you. Did you just get a little bit squirrely on the high side there, or what happened?
I think Justin said he had a little problem down on the bottom, and I had to kind of check up a little bit because I was trying to squeeze in between the two of them and just get behind Justin, and I just wasn't able to get there.
Yeah, so you were talking about kind of you're talking about getting loose and stuff here because we saw a lot of that tonight with guys spinning, especially on corner exit. You had a relatively trouble-free race. You kind of ran kind of the same position the entire night, very quiet. What do you attribute that to? Was it just practice hours, or what?
Yeah, I think practice helped a lot. And as you guys probably know, finding the right wheel settings, and just figuring out the right way to be able to get off a corner without losing control. I showed up almost right at 6 o'clock so I could get the full 2 hours of practice. And I think that helped me a lot to get myself dialed in.
Well, it certainly seemed like it paid off. Really great run for you tonight. Josh, did you have anything else?
No, honestly, it's just great to see you back up here getting the opportunity to get a podium. I'm looking forward to chatting with you more, and they still unfortunately haven't updated the standings. But, I mean, you've been right up there in the top 5 all season. This definitely is not going to hurt your case. And again, I love seeing some of the original members just doing well and putting us young bucks to shame.
I got to score one for the old guys, right?
But
Yep.
no, great run tonight. Great to watch you just being up there the whole night, and congratulations.
Thanks. I'm extremely happy with it. I'm glad the way it all played out, that I was able to stay with those guys. And I'll tell you something, I was really focusing on trying to save tires and hoping we had a long run, because kind of felt like maybe I had something for them if we went far enough, but I didn't get that, and I'm not really aggressive enough when the car behaves that way to try and take a run at him. Blake's, I think, is a lot better with that, and so is Justin. So I just want to say thank you guys for the broadcast. I got to shout out my teammates, man. Everybody worked so well together tonight. I love racing with those guys, and had a good time tonight. And thanks everyone at AOLL for putting on such a great league.
No, thank you for putting on such a great show for us and giving all of our viewers out there just great entertainment.
Thank you.
But
All right.
thank you much. I'll let you get back to your team and celebrating 2 on the podium tonight.
I get a mini bottle of champagne for third place.
You still get some.
We'll mail it to you.
Thanks.
Thank you, Steve.
All right, thanks, Steve.
Yeah, have a good night, guys.
All right.
All right.
I do believe that's going to do it for us tonight. It was caution-filled, but we still had a lot of excitement. And it is time for us to look forward to next week at Richmond, which again, hopefully won't be as caution filled, but it will be a lot faster, and we will see a lot more side-by-side racing.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to Richmond. I think I'm expecting to see some more green flag laps there because it's not nearly as flat. Yeah, I'm really excited to see what happens with our championship battle and see if we can possibly see some other guys get in the mix like Steve Gottschalk, Joe Dinsmore, possibly getting in the mix for these top 2 positions.
Definitely. And thank you everyone for tuning in tonight. Thank you from everybody at the Ghostfire Media team. Thank you from the AOLL. Have yourselves a good night, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you, everyone.